Hey everybody, it's Big E. Welcome to Big E's Autos. So today we're working on our Resident Power Stroke O.B.S. Ford F250, and we got, yes, everybody gives me a hard time about the white fender, but I'm going to tell you why I didn't paint the white fender. Not because I'm lazy or stupid. There's a reason, my madness. Let me show you what I hacked. See here? And all this here, you can see there's rust here. This is popping out. That's the screening in the bodywork. This is all rotted out. Okay, from here, I would say down is all rot. So I'm not gonna, I mean, you look at, I can push my finger through there. I mean, it's a shame. Other than that, it's not a bad fender, but it's rotted there. So I finally broke down after some time, and that's what we got, folks. We got ourselves a new fender. We'll go ahead, and they were nice enough to make these very nice to unpackage. Go ahead and see how this is all wrapped up here. This is very nice way that I've never seen this before. This is a very convenient way of packaging to be able to unload it. So I'm trying to hold the camera, forgive me. I'm going to go ahead and lift this up. We're going to set this against very gingerly, like, oh, how nice, they put a protector on the corner here so the corner doesn't get boogered up. That was tough. So there's our panel for the truck. How nice. Now I see there's a little booger here. Might have happened in shipment. We're gonna have to see if we can massage that out. But all in all, nice metal here. It's not all rot. So there we go. Ordered this from Car Parts. I think the shipping was almost as much as the fender. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you how to put this on, take the old one off, put the new one on, and hopefully it lines up. We don't have to make shims. Anyway, let's roll the intro and we're gonna jump into it. All right, guys, it's Big E. So, we're gonna take this off. Sorry, I had a brain fart, and I'm working in the sun, so I apologize with the sunglasses. So with this, we're gonna get started. We're gonna remove this inner plastic, inner fender liner. What you're gonna need is a 7/32 socket. 1/4 inch drive ratchet's what I use to get these off. I believe there's, hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3. There's about, I would say, 6, maybe 7 of those in here. Okay. Then you're gonna have two 10mm up front. If it's not rotted out. Unfortunately, mine's rotted out, so I gotta see if I need to do some repair there as well. So I gotta remember to get those bolts out. The rest you're gonna have, there's two 13mm up here by the top, there's a 10mm in here, and there's a 13mm down at the bottom here that you're gonna remove. Also, you're gonna need, which reminds me, I need a broomstick because I gotta take the 13mm bolt out on the other side of this that holds your spring, that holds the hood up. So obviously when you take that out, the hood's gonna come down. So you're gonna need a broomstick or some way to support that hood while you take this fender off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for something I can support the hood with, and I'm gonna remove that bolt, and then we're gonna see if when I come back, see if can get this fender off. And if I remember correctly, I did the one on the other side like maybe 3 years ago. I don't remember, that something tells me behind the headlight we might have an issue there. I don't remember. It was a real pain in the butt, but we're gonna check that out. And we're going to address that as we come to it. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to pause the video, look for a prop rod for this hood, see if I can get that stabilized, and we're going to get this fender off. Alright guys, let's see if we can get this fender off. So we got these 13s loose up here. So you got 2 bolts up there. Up front here, I'll try and remember, there's a bracket that comes out and goes down. Yeah, I gotta reach in here. I don't know if I can see that, but you see here's the battery. In here, there's 2 10mm bolts, okay, that you're gonna have to hand ratchet out. It's hard to get in there unless you take the battery out. Then it might be a little easier. You're gonna have these 2 13mm bolts here. We're gonna have right here, I'm gonna have to get my impact, but then there's 2 bolts inside your door jamb here as well. Like I said, I'm gonna see what all entails with that, and I gotta move the camera, and I'm having issues here with this thing, keeps falling over. So what I'm gonna do, let me adjust you down. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna see if I can get these out and go from there. As far as like I said, we're gonna have that issue with the I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna get into here with that. So I'm gonna pop this out. That as well. That's going to add a little bit of difficulty to it, because back in here is your ECM, and there's a bolt here by the air box that's also holding me up. So I got to find out. They look like they're 10mm. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to unbolt that, and when I come back, hopefully then we can see about getting the fender off. Alright guys, so this ended up being a lot more involved than what we think. We had to remove the ECM, which is in the back corner. You're going to need an 8mm socket. There's 3 bolts. You're going to need to remove those. There's also a bolt up underneath here which holds the outside fuse box. That's going to be an 8mm as well. That's located up behind here, okay? You're also going to need, there's going to be 2 bolts for the air box. Unbolt that. That's also 8mm. You're going to need to remove the battery, 8mm for that. Remove the battery. You're going to need to remove the grounds, 8mm, if I didn't say that already. Everything's 8mm. You're going to need to remove these 2 bolts here. You're going to have to pull out your headlight. There's 2 8mm bolts there. You're going to need to remove that. There's also these pins that come through, which I'm not sure if we're going to have to pry those up or not. But this thing should come out. We're going to take a look here and see what we've got going on here. If we need to carefully pry everything off these pins. I'm trying to remember if there is something in here for some reason. I'm thinking might be an issue, because I think it bolts in here, but I don't remember how I got in there before with that. The way they have this is really tricky. As you can see, the whole front end's moving here. I think I'm gonna have to bend this off these. There's 2 dowels here. We're gonna have to bend this over, I think, to get there. So let me see about that. I gotta say, I think there's a bolt in here yet that I'm gonna have to get, that I gotta figure out. But it's getting there. Hopefully we get this thing off shortly. All right, guys, so I went ahead, I put one of the bolts in up top to hold this in place. I'm thinking our best bet is to take a cut-off wheel and cut this tab off right from the fender itself, and then this should come apart. There was a bolt in here. There's an 8mm bolt right here you're going to need to take out. So let me go ahead and cut this tab. Break that off. So go ahead and take this bolt out. What the heck is still attached yet? I feel nothing as far as bolt wise. There's one more yet, 8mm. So we're gonna go ahead. Let's get our, if I can find my 8mm here in this whole mess of stuff. It was here. 9. Find 9 and 10, but oh, because it's on here. All right. So see if we can find this. Oh, it's up front here. Yep, there it is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Get in position here. That's all apart. This hopefully should now come out. Gotta find out what the deal is here. Somehow it's sandwiched in there between the two things. Very interesting. We're gonna have to just try and wiggle it out somehow, because it is loose. Somehow it's just sandwiched in there. So we gotta figure this out. Just doesn't make any sense as to, because there's no other bolts that I can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at this, and hopefully I can get this fender off. We'll see when we get back. I apologize, guys. So we ended up making another slice here a little bit. We were able to get a little room. It was a bolt Let me get the camera here to show you guys. I'm having an issue again with my camera equipment, sorry. Like that. There's a bolt down here, 8mm again. We cut here, we're able to wiggle it out. And as you can see here, got some issues we have to address before we go any further here on this truck. So those are some things I'm going to address before we put the new fender on, and so we'll see if we get this thing on. Right after some struggling by myself because I don't have any hands here, we got the fender at least mocked up on the truck, checking some fitment. We did scratch the door. I was going to repaint this anyway, so we got to fix that. Just a lot of adjustment here, but I mean, we have it in place. I'm going to go ahead and finish pulling stuff up. I'm going to try an alignment to align things up as I go and make sure the body lines line up, and we're just going to go from there. Hopefully get this thing buttoned up. All right, trick time. So I had an issue with the fender here lining up with the hood. I want to bring the hood down. It still could come in, but I guess you can see the gap here. So what I did was, this is kind of little redneck engineering. Took a ratchet strap here, I hooked it over to that support, hooked it here, pulled it in. So here's your adjustment here. See, I had a bolt out to cut off. I have to fix that later, but for now I got these holding the adjustment to hold the fender in. So a little tip to help align in case it is bowed or there's some irregularities, you can help pull it in. Use a ratchet strap so you can take it incrementally into where you need it to be so it lines up with your hood. All right, guys, you know what time it is. So there's a fender on the truck. We're going to check the gaps and stuff. Looks like it sucks in at the door there a little bit. I gotta see if I can make a shim, something there. The door, like I said, it's gonna need to be touched up, but we're gonna paint this anyway. And the headlight assembly there, I have to figure out something there. But all in all, the fender is installed on the truck with new sheet metal. So the next step is going to be, after aligning it, is we're going to go ahead and paint it to match, and then hopefully the old truck's done. So that's all I got for today. So anyway, like and subscribe. It's hot out here. Cheers, bitches. Like and subscribe. Leave a positive comment if possible, something you can bring to the table that would help everybody in the community here on this channel to learn something. And until next time, watch out for each other, take care of each other. We'll see you next time right here on Big E's for Now. Bye bye.